There was this guy, I started Clients in Abundance back in February 2018. And when I started it, we had the founding members. And the gentleman who's about to get on the stage was one of the founding members. And on one of the very first coaching classes, when I spoke with him, I was wowed by him. And I actually invited him to my office because I was having a mastermind there with my own peers. I believe Matt may have been there. Matt's in my mastermind. There was other people in there. And then Kurt come along. And the interesting thing is that Kurt will tell you that I understand him more than most people in the world. He says, you know, because I coached him through a lot of stuff. But also what's interesting is, as I was building this business, something that I would have never expected happened. One of my clients understood me so deeply. He understood me better than most people in this world. So as I was doing my coaching classes, some people were extracting the knowledge, and he was observing how I was acting and telling everybody out. And it blew my mind. And it was just the most dynamic situation for me, because I was growing myself. This was my new coaching program, my new coaching group, my new brand. As I'm growing, I've got somebody there cheerleading me, watching me, and it allowed me to become just a better version of me. And as I've been watching Kurt over the past, over a year now, he's been in my programs, he's come to my Mantra Masterminds, he's been in all of my seminars like this. I've seen him do the same thing with other people. Have you experienced Kurt the past few days? Pretty freaking amazing, right? And on that note, let's just bring this amazing, beautiful human being, Mr. Kurt Francis, up on stage. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! I love you, brother.
Love you, Alex. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You survived 3 days of grueling stuff, right? The best sales you've ever been to, right? I've been to hundreds and hundreds of real estate conferences in years. And I'll never forget a mastermind that we're at. And Alex started to do a real estate pitch, and he's never done real estate. And I'll tell you, Jen, you were there. Jonah, you were there. We were blown away. The best real estate pitch I've heard in 15 years comes from Alex, who's never done that. And I was in Vegas a few months ago, 2 months ago, and I had 5 speaking things. And I basically took that speech of Alex, which is 9 minutes and 20 seconds, and took it into our speech. Was brilliant. And it's opened many, many doors. So sometimes you hire a coach on, but you don't know what's in that person. You don't know who's sitting next to you even. You've got no clue what's inside the person sitting right next to you. Nothing. So people always ask me, so where are you from? And I tell them, I'm from Texas. They say, well, that doesn't sound like a Texas accent, right? So I tell them, I'm from South Africa, and I'm an African American without a tan. That's what I really am. With all the June gloom and May gray, I lost my tan. So, when people always asking me that, and weekly people still asking me that. So, your accent is so cute. And I say, what? My accent's not cute. I love the American accent. I love the Scottish accent. Where's Robert and them? Whoa, and the British accent, and I love it. I think they are so cute. And my favorite word in American accent is the word nasty. It feels nasty. If we say it in South Africa, it's nasty. It doesn't even sound nasty. The Australians know how to say nasty. Where's Yeah. Why don't you say nasty? No, say it like Australian. Nasty. Well, she says more like an American. And she said it the other day to me, and I said, oh my gosh, she doesn't say it like, Anyway, so it's my favorite expression. So when I go to America and people said, oh, you don't say zebra, it's a zebra. So I don't say zebra. Okay, let me learn how to speak. So I go to this conference and this woman's name's on there, and her name's like, oh, it must be Debra. And I said, oh, hello, Debra. I said, no, my name's Deborah. It's not, So you just got to learn how to speak and adjust. So, there's nothing right and there's nothing wrong. Whatever you speak is beautiful and is brilliant. Welcome, everybody. We don't just have a little welcome, we have welcome. So I'm going to go through this really, really fast because just of time, and I want to respect you, right? Because we've gone through a lot. So we're going to cut this really short. Carl has touched my life in a massive way. Because of his persistence, I'm here today. And if it wasn't for Carl, my life would not be where it is. Because I wanted to spend time. Who's this Alex Jeffries guy? And I said to Carl, can't I just spend some time with him? I mean, he just lives up the road from me. I was living in San Diego then. And Carl said I could. That's not going to happen. You're not going to spend time. It's $25,000 just for his cell phone. You're not going to just spend some time with Alex. So when Alex did invite me after joining the coaching to that mastermind, I was blown away. First of all, I've been in so many masterminds. It's the best mastermind that's ever run. It wasn't a coaching mastermind. It was people that he knows. And have you ever heard of the thing, if you're the smartest one in a group, get a new group? Yes. Well, there were 13 people around there that day, and I was number 13 in the group. I felt so out of place, Mr. Jeffries, but I challenged. And I left there, and I tell you what now, I never realized how somebody was going to affect my life, and Alex has, right? He's touched all of our lives, right? Yeah, give him a hand. All of our lives. Okay, and so Ryan and John and Carl, just amazing people in my life. We're going to go through this very fast. I'm not going to go through all 6, okay? But these are some of the expectations that your clients have before you're going to sign them up. Okay, so we've all gone through some struggling, right? Everyone struggled to take their business to the next level. Okay, we're all struggling, and I was about to land in Austin, Texas, a few months ago, and we were going through terrible turbulence. And this young lady next to me was holding on for dear life, and I said, "Listen, here, honey, no plane has ever crashed because of turbulence. Do you know that? No aircraft has ever crashed because of turbulence. They've crashed because of pilot error. No wings have fallen off because of turbulence. Okay, there's not one plane in history. So I said, right now." The pilots are having a lot of fun right now. They've been training, they've waited for years for this. They are struggling a little bit, but their struggle is evidence that they haven't given up. And when we're struggling, we've got to start loving our struggle, right? That's sort of been said before, loving our struggle, because we've got to fall in love with our struggle and enjoy it. Because the struggle is evidence that you haven't given up. And so I'm going to go through this really, really fast. So there's an Ironman I did. As you can see, I haven't done one recently. But that was, actually 20 years ago. And the night before, my dad called me from South Africa. My dad's still the oldest African to ever do an Ironman triathlon at 78 years old. And he called me, my dad was about, I don't know what age then, about 65. And he said to me, 2 things. You want to finish that race tomorrow? This is in Lake Placid. In New York, up there, Adirondack Mountains and that. And he said, if you want to finish this race, 2 things. Number 1, be humble. Let them pass you. Don't try and be front because you want to finish the race. Because it's 2.4, you swim 2.4 miles, that's 3.8 kilometers. You bike 180 kilometers, which is 112 miles, and you run 26 miles, which is 42 kilometers. It took me 14 hours. But my dad said 2 things. Be humble or you're not going to finish it. And the next thing, when it hurts, it's supposed to. Wow. The next day, I'm going up this hill, and I could really feel fire in my veins. And why am I doing this? This is crazy. Why am I doing this? And then I heard my dad's words. When it hurts, it's supposed to. And when we're hurting in our business to go to the next level, when it hurts to take your credit card out and pay, when it hurts, how many feel pain when you pay? Come on, yeah, let's be real. How many feel pain? You're meant to feel pain. When it hurts, it's supposed to. Because it's that pain, that feeling that's going to drive you to the next level. Okay, if you had $1 gazillion and you just threw your credit card there, it probably wouldn't mean much to you. But when you make decisions this last few days, and if you haven't, and if you're still trying to make a decision to join one of Alex's programs, you're meant to feel that. You're meant to feel that. So we're going to go through this really, really fast. So about branding yourself, I'm going to go through. Number 1, I'm talking about belief quickly. So that's all we talk about, yeah. Belief is one of the biggest things that how Alex and Carl and John and Ryan and everybody has allowed me to go to another level in my belief. I'm pretty confident. I pretty did believe, I've done some great things. But I never realized that no matter where we are, there's another level for our belief, okay? And we know this by Henry Ford. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. And whatever you want to do in your business, that's where it starts. And it starts with, if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. Someone says, I can't do that. I said, you're so right. Well, I know you're right. You can't do it. You cannot do it. That's where it starts. If you believe it will work out, you will see the opportunities. If you believe it will not work out, all you see is obstacles. So this is in South Africa, and this is when I was just turned 30, and I was having these motivational camps. And before there were 150 people would go. And I said, this is crazy. We can touch more people's lives. Why do we limit to 150 people? And I said, Kurt, because that's what we budgeted for. And I said, this is ridiculous. So I felt to take that to a new level, and I rented a big marquee tent, massive thing. And my leadership said, that's the worst thing you're doing, and you're going to bankrupt. It was $52,000 those years, okay, like 22 years ago, 21 years ago. And they said to me, don't do this thing. You're doing the wrong thing. But man, I was believing for this. Now, how many times have we believed for something really big, but then the people closest around us comes and tries to stop us, right? How many times has that happened? And they do that because they love you, because they care about you, and they don't want you to hurt yourself. And as soon as you want to start believing big things, somebody around you is going to try and stop that. And normally it's from the closest right around you, okay? So we put this thing up. It was April the 4th, 1999. And it was a phenomenal success. They were dealing with a lot of people who are battling with drugs, and those young adults from 18 years old to 30, 32 years old. The limit was 30, but I let a few other people in. And we went from 150 people to 850 people. And we sent, but see, when I see that, I don't just see this, I know what we went through to get there. I know the challenges of our belief. When you start believing, people say, oh yeah, I must believe more. But we start believing, and then things start cutting us down. So, yes, something else, a bold course. There's a company I was running here in San Diego. And there was a bold course, and you had to have 100 people. And it was a commitment of $800 per person, so it's $80,000. So this team would come in from Austin, and I committed to this. So I thought it was a great thing I was going to do, because I know this course changes many people's lives. And there was like 6 or 7 sessions, but it's $800 a person, and it's $80,000 commitment. Well, I committed, and I signed the contract, and I got a letter from the owner of the company, who I've got a lot of respect for, and there is Kurt Francis. Not, Kurt, how are you doing? Not that. Why do we set goals that are so far out of line with our experience? And what experience? Well, they had done it 2-3 years before I was there, and they were short of people, and she had to write a check out of $40,000, and she was not impressed. So she sent this to me, and what I realized that because of our experience or other people's experience, if you fail, what happens to your belief? Does it go up or does it go down? Down, right? That's what happens. When we fail, or our parents failed, or our friends failed, or somebody failed, our belief generally goes down. When we fail as entrepreneurs, what happens to our belief? It goes down. And we've been learning all weekend that if we're going to succeed, we're going to fail. And the one thing we've got to start putting around us is that even in the midst of past experiences or failures, my belief has got to go up. Now, our schools never had anybody had a semester on how to increase your belief? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody go to university and you had that? What the hell do we teach our people? Okay, this is the stuff that changes lives, changes companies, changes countries. Are we trying to demonstrate that we're soliciting failure? If you can't project reality, Kurt, you cannot be credible defining success. Actually, very true. How do you think I felt when I got that email? Great, yes, lovely. Owners were not happy, mad with me. Not even Kurt Hyde, nothing. She's a high-powered attorney that's won many, many cases in New York City. But she owns companies locally in San Diego. Got a healthy relationship with her, but she holds me accountable. Well, what do you think happened to my belief then? What happened is we sold out Bold, 114 people. There's a text months later. I said, did we really do this? I was like, was it just a dream? Thank you so much for Kurt, blah, blah, blah. Our first step was 150, but we sold out 127, the highest ever in history in San Diego, ever. And it was 101,000. But I tell you now, the hell I went through there in my believing. with when your staff don't support you. Nobody supports you. And we say, yeah, let me believe. And then all the crap happens. And how do we believe in the midst of when your own people around you go against you? Right? And I've had these battles. I'm just going to go through some of the stuff and really talk about belief right now. And firstly, I want to say that belief is not a feeling. Someone says, well, I feel to believe. I feel that I can do this. I feel that I can sign up for AJ's next thing. I just feel that. And we taught to make decisions on that. And that's the worst thing ever. That's the worst thing ever. You see, we make decisions based on logic, but we act on emotion. Right? I make a decision, I should eat healthy. But then I see the ice cream, and I move by emotion, what I feel like. We'll do that. Okay? And so we've got to train ourselves as entrepreneurs to understand that belief has got nothing to do with feeling. It's got to do with decision. Okay, that word decision, anybody seen that CI before? Do you know what it stands for? What's that? You got it. CI comes from the Latin, and there are 4,000 words in the English language with the word CI in it. And it means three things: to cut, destroy, and separate. Okay? Or kill as well. The words like genocide, what does that mean? Pesticide, herbicide, crucify. Not a nice one. Suicide. Okay? There are 4,000 words in it. Every time you make a decision, you're killing something. We make 15,000 decisions a day. 2,500 of them are eating and drinking. If I just take a sip, I've just killed thirst. I'm sitting with a lot of murderers around here because we kill 15,000 things every single day. Half the time we make decisions from an unconscious. Not going to go into that. But train your brain is the one way that I've had to go against things that come against me with believing. And it doesn't. We've got to train our brain for 5 years' time. What's going to happen to you in 4 years' time, 3 years' time? You're going to start now with training our brain. And this I learned from Muhammad Ali. I can't rephrase it, but basically I learned this from him. It is the relentless repetition and rehearsals of self-affirmations that leads us to believe. And we talk about affirmations, but do we do this? My dog thinks I'm crazy, little shih tzu, because I walk around the house and I do affirmations like crazy. And my dog, like now, she's got used to it. But I've done this all the time, and this is what Muhammad Ali said. This is what took him to become a champion. This was the thing, right? And I want to just show you something. I was at CNN 4 days and 5 nights. And so we are 15 of us around the world at CNN. And we're going to create segment proposals for television, and so we had all this training. I mean, the first 2 hours of training, they trained us how to say our name. Like, what? How do you say our name? And I never knew how to say my name. And the 15 of us, not one person knew. And we're put in the hot seat, and for the first 2 hours, that's all we learned, how to say our name. The next day, so we had to practice the pitching, right? So my coach, the 15 of us, he says, get out. Kurt Francis, get out. I did not feel great. I was like so embarrassed. This is only a year ago. So embarrassed. I said, what? Get out. You have not rehearsed enough. You haven't rehearsed enough. Do you think you're going to sit there and put that in front of television producers around the country? Why haven't you rehearsed? Get out. And there I was. I went out in CNN's in Atlanta, and this thing, and there's people watching you, and I'm rehearsing whatever. He sent me out twice. But he said, you think you can just come here and not rehearse properly? How many presentations have you just come in, Kurt, and not rehearsed properly? He said, go out there and go and rehearse. And rehearse. And I'll tell you, he said, when you rehearse 100%, the next day, that 100% has become a 90% to take yourself to another level. But we don't rehearse enough. You don't rehearse your offers. You don't rehearse anything enough. And that's what you've got to start doing. And Alex said a similar thing to me at a mastermind. And Jonah, you were there. Jen, you were there. And he said, let me tell you what Kurt Francis' problem is. He said, no. And he said, you don't rehearse your offers enough. You're not putting the deep, his words were, you don't put the deep work in, Kurt Francis. He says, moments like that change your life. Because mostly we don't want somebody to say, and Jen, you heard that. And we want to comfort everything nice, comfortable, marshmallow, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, nice pillow. And then we don't grow. So that's why we want people like that in our lives, because it's those moments that define us and take us to the next level. So let's go back. It's a relentless repetition and rehearsals of self-affirmations that leads to belief. Because when you're 21, you believe in anything. Like in America, you're 6 years old, you believe you can become president. Well, maybe not anymore. No, just joking. And that's a joke. You believe in anything. You get to 45 and you don't believe in anything anymore. And people say, how do I restore my belief? How do I believe again? Or how do I take my belief to the next level? By the way, you should be asking yourself this question to the day you die. Because we're always going to be working on our belief. How do we do this? It's the relentless repetition and rehearsals of self-affirmations that lead us to belief. But the next part is more powerful. And when this belief becomes a deep conviction, something begins to happen. Now let me tell you something now. If your business is not happening, you don't have enough belief. If there's nothing happening in your business, there's not enough belief. Okay? The second thing is there's no conviction. Carl said that from the stage yesterday. Remember when Carl and Alex were here and they were answering questions after our great offer that Alex made yesterday, right? And Carl used the words, start speaking about conviction. These are the two things, belief and conviction. If your business is not happening, you are not convicted enough to help people out of their struggles and to take them to a new level. And when I realized that with my life, that became evident. You see, we've got a tongue, right? And it's not only designed to be sticking out at people. In fact, our tongue is not just there to have the 10,000 taste buds. That's not why your tongue is there. Your tongue is not there just to tell you whether it's salty, sweet, or sour. Your tongue is not there to prepare your food to go down the gullet. Your tongue is not there just to tell you if it's poison or not. That's not the reason why we've got a tongue. It's the most powerful muscle in the whole body. There's, where are those guys from Houston? Are they still here? There's a big guy, I mean, no, the other ones. No, they're from Dallas. You guys are, sorry. Sorry, Eduardo. Yeah, okay. Those arms and muscles are not the most powerful. The most powerful muscle in your body is your tongue. It's powerful, okay? You will never go beyond the level of your confession. Ever. So, somebody said to me, an agent always said to me, I worked with 3,000 agents, right? And she always comes, I'm always late. I said, that's why you're always late? She said, why? I said, you just told me why. What I say? I'm always late. You will never rise above your confession. I can never afford this. You're right, you can never afford this. We've got to change what comes out of our mouth about every single thing. And we've got to use our tongue in a powerful way for our belief. This is one of the biggest battles that I've had my whole life. Never did a speech in 13 years of school, ever. Ever. Never speak in front of people, ever. Okay? What happened? Now people pay me probably not to speak. Could you just relax a little bit? But our tongue is a catalyst. And when I've learned this, and this stirs me up, it's a catalyst for your brain to release neurochemicals. And what are they? The 4 ones we know. I call it daily dose, okay? Dopamine, we know this, right? Oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. In fact, if your brain didn't have this, probably cocaine wouldn't work so much. If your brain didn't have this, cocaine would not be that effective. Okay? This is the most powerful drug in the world, is this. The most powerful drug you've got in your body. But you know what? We don't activate it. We're not letting the tongue be a catalyst every single day to have a powerful moment every single time in the morning. Kiana, were you saying about the mornings? What were you saying about the mornings? How powerful they are? Yeah. We were chatting about, when we miss the morning, we don't get up and we don't say these things. And that's why our lives are limited. Our days, we need to take it by force, take everything by force, and speak these powerful things out. So does anyone know what that is? The books, the picture? Encyclopedia. So when I was 6 years old, there was a knock on our door, and some guy selling encyclopedias. And my dad would say, oh my gosh, can these people just leave us? They're a nuisance. They bother us. Why does he keep on coming all the time? So I grew up as a kid. Salesman, nasty man. Sales, bad. Sales, not nice. Not nice. It's nothing. Sales, not nice. You see a real estate agent, you run like hell. Sales, no. People run from real estate agents, anybody, or any calls. And we grew up with this thing, we're so programmed that sales is not a good thing. Sales is nasty. And we have all this inner conflict, so we've got to and reprogram ourselves all the time. There's a belief I had in myself for years, inner conflict about selling. People believe that selling is nasty, okay? And that's the top salespeople, what they manage to do is they break that past attachment and their belief in sales. And so many of my issues is that sales is bad. And in the last 5-10 years, I've really had to break that no, sales is not bad. What we should be saying is sales is great. Sales is wonderful. It helps people. Sales takes people's problems away. Sales helps families. Sales changes lives. Sales removes pain and struggle. Sales makes people happy. Sales turns people's lives around. You should be standing up and speaking, shouting this, right? How many of you believe this? Right. How many of you have had the other programming as a kid? How many was taught as a kid sales is bad? How many? Let's put our hands. How many of you have got in your calendar to break that and deprogram yourself? You've got that in your calendar? We need to have this in our calendar every day to break the thing that's holding us back, because if we don't have a belief, it's not going to happen. You see, so many times we dig up our doubt in us. When something goes wrong or something fails, we get a bad email or you reject it, and we start digging that we've planted in faith. Like there's a joke years ago in South Africa which say, it says something like this, oh, mommy, I'm bored. And so just go and play in the traffic. You know? And then, oh, mommy, I'm bored. Well, go and play with granny. No, I've already dug her up 3 times already today. So, I think of that and I think, how many times have I dug things up that we shouldn't dig up? How many things we should just leave that we planted in faith, even if you don't, see it? When I said to my mom one day, well, I'm just going to fake it to make it. And mom said, oh, no, you're not. I never raised you that way. I said, but you're going to faith it until you make it. And you put that down and you keep on believing. My mom's a great lady of faith. And so, everything, but coming to America, I couldn't get visas and all that stuff. And it's my mom's faith that kept on saying, you've got to put it there and keep on believing it and talk it. So this was about 15, 16 years ago. And I did really well as a real estate agent, and I was invited to come in and manage this office. And I thought, I didn't really want to get in management, but whatever. So it was November the 7th, 2006, and the CEO comes to the front and he introduces me to this office as a new manager. And so he calls me up, and I come up, and as I'm walking up, people sneering at me, arms like this, looking at me, whatever. And I said, hi there, I'm Kurt Francis. I can't be waiting to be working with you. I'm really excited about that. And as I said that, this old man slams his fist down on the thing and says, and he stands up and says, who the hell are you, boy, to come in here and take Ron's place that we all loved and respected? And I go, that is my welcome. He says, how long have you had your license, you young whippersnapper? And a third of the room walked out. That was a welcome. But you know what? We turned that office around and eventually started managing 17 offices. And if you read stuff about me, San Diego Business Journal, in the worst recession, we were the only real estate company to grow in that time. So I just want to say that all those struggles, and don't care damn what comes against you, the thing is, do we spend time protecting our belief? Okay, here's the book, okay? Now, Alex knows me. I'm so dyslexic. I can't see a difference between a 3 and an E. I just know where the 3's are on top, right? I can't see a difference between a 6 and a 9. A 6's got a stomach and a 9's got a big head. B and D. When I was in the military in Angola, it is a long story, but I wrote a letter, and the head guy, they used to read all our letters. And he came back, brought the letter, and said, you can't send this. I said, what do you mean? Just read it. I said, no, dear Dad. I said, no, it doesn't say that. So what does it say? It says, dear bad, to my father. And I used to be embarrassed about all these things. And after spending time with Alex, you don't care damn about anything. Right? Because what Alex taught us is not, don't worry about being perfect. Be prolific. So I've never finished the whole book in my life, by the way. I battled to get audiobooks to listen to all the time. Audiobooks that drive people mad. I want to have an audiobook all the time. But I've never finished the whole book. So yeah, I'm about to go to that CNN deal, right, with Celebrity Launchpad. And what happens was, 3 weeks before, the coach said, Kurt Francis, I'm going to unmute you. We're going to create your segment proposal. I said, great. He said, tell me, what's the title of your book? And I said, it's not out yet. and he said, when's it going to be out? And I said, 2019. And he said, no, it's not. By next week, you will have a title. By next week, it will be off to the printers. And you'll have a cover for me. Is that okay? Like, what the hell do you smoke, dude? And everyone around the world's there. I mean, the Aussies are there, British, everyone around the world. I'm like, oh my gosh, I start sweating. Like, what the hell did I do? So I went downstairs. It was a Wednesday night about at 7, 8 o'clock. And I started writing for 4 days. And there's no ghostwriters. I wrote every word in their book. And I canceled every appointment, everything. And I wrote that book. And so, who the hell am I to write a book who's never finished a book? And then that became a number one on Amazon, bestseller. That was okay. And you know why I didn't ever write it? Because I thought it was never good enough. If you buy the book, and by the way, I always sell out wherever I go. South Africa, I sold everything again. And you know what? If you read it, I'm kind of like, there's so many mistakes in it. There's so many mistakes in it. But yeah, we've got Robert, okay? My niece stopped speaking to our family, my sister's kid, that I love, and she grew up with me, okay? She's about 25, 27 now. My niece broke away from our family. I visited in LA. We've stopped speaking to all of us. She deleted me from Facebook. So a few months later, I get something pop on Facebook. I've got shows right now. Uncle Kurt, here's a picture of your book, and it's touched my life. Thank you. Was that book written for me? I'll show it to you. I cried. I called my mom. I called my sister. I just cried. They all cried. That book, if you buy it, just buy it to find the mistakes. Hundreds of them. Can I say something I don't often say? I want to say this. And I've never said this from a stage before. I don't care, fuck. See, when Alex's teaching was about stop being bloody perfect in your life and start being prolific. You see, what perfection does, perfection just takes away. It just takes away. It just brings people down. It brings you down. That's all it does. If I didn't write that book, my little niece would not be speaking to my sister now. Oh, but I want the perfect book. It's got to be perfect. It's just got to be right. Oh, shut up, you ugly thing. Shut the fuck up. You don't have to be right. And why am I saying this story? Because, and I will always give glory to Alex for what he's done in my life. Because he started breaking those things in me. All these things I've never done because of the thing of being perfect. Because your universities and schools taught you to be perfect. Oh, if you get 80%, they don't look at the 80, they look at the 20, what you screwed up on. You can do all things perfectly, but the minute you screw up, that's what your reputation's down. And this is what's cursed our whole world. Right? It's a lie. It's all a lie. And a guy used to look up. His name's Stephen Munson, okay? Owns his own real estate company in Los Angeles. And then he started another one down in San Diego. And this was a guy I got in the industry. And, Stephen Munson, he's doing all this crap and wonderful stuff. And then he sold everything and moved to Thailand to go retire, whatever. Get a phone call. Kurt, it's me, Stephen. Stephen Munson. I'm calling from Thailand. Yeah, wow, Stephen. Crying. Your book. I'm not a great author. It's not about those things. Okay? It's not about you. Your book's not about you. It's about to reposition yourself in front of other people. Okay? Everybody should be writing a book. But, as Alex said, people just write books and they don't do sales. Like, remember he said that? He said you do that to reposition yourself, but only do that when you've got the other stuff going. Okay? Harvard. Yeah, I'm speaking at Harvard Club of Boston. 125 people, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, CEOs. Okay? So challenged. And so, Kurt, do you know what you're going to speak about there? I said, yes, I do. Coach said, no, you don't. I said, no, I think I do. He said, no, you don't. You're going to speak about the thing that you least ever want to speak about. I said, no. And that's what my speech was about. I just called Louis, business partner. I cried on the phone, called my mom. I don't want to talk about this. And I did, but it changed my life because when I got to that stage, and standing ovation, and you get off, people crying. Arlene, Jonah, you know Arlene, from Los Angeles, phenomenal person. Hey, April, you know Arlene. Crying, and Coach says to me afterwards, you never used your moment. You had a standing ovation, people clapping, and you never used your moment. Kurt Francis, how many other moments have you lost in your life? Many, I suppose. Do you want to tell me them? You know Clint's like, Alex can tell you. Thank you, Clint. I was looking for some, I want to screw you, Dad. I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you. Help me, somebody. Because you see, I need a lot of help. We all do. George Ross, Vice President, Executive Vice President, 47 years for Donald Trump. Caitlyn Jenner, interviewed Caitlyn Jenner. By the way, George Ross said, you can ask me anything, just don't ask me about the Donald's hair. Donald Trump. Very funny. And that is NBC Studios. And this opened so many doors. I was on a flight. Okay, I was on a flight to Embassy Studios in Albuquerque and sitting next to a person who was the president of the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. Never knew it. And then we spoke, and then she said, I want you to come and speak to a whole organization. So we never know where we're going, how we're going to reposition ourselves, but we be nice to people. But our belief, you see, I never believed I could do that. Never believed I could do that. So that's why we have coaches, to take our levels to the next thing. Never believed I'd speak at a 7-income speaker. You were there, Jonah. And that NASDAQ, never believed that. Never believed that. Never believed in 1990 walking around Times Square, 24 years old, would I be on that thing? Never believed that. Never believed speak at the $1 Million Business Accelerator. Never believed that. Never believed that. Who the hell am I to do that? You don't deserve to do that. Who the hell are you to sign up clients for $15,000? Who the hell are you? How dare you? How dare you be taught to sign people for $15,000 and maybe $20,000 next and $30,000? Who the hell are you? Jared, who the hell are you? Christopher, who the hell are you? What you've gone through in your life. Who the hell are you? Come from Scottsdale, Arizona. Who the hell are you, Christopher? That's what the world's telling all of us. You see, but not in this environment. So, to be working with affluent, who are we? Who are we to do this? Who are we to be earning more money? Who the hell are we to do this? To be helping people. Nelson Mandela, my hero, in prison for 27 years, been to his place of prison cell twice. Our deepest fear is not that we are weak. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not a darkness that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Who the hell am I? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. That's why Alex always said, up your price, up it, just up it. They're still going to buy it. If you're hitting the struggle and doing all the things and going through all the areas, they're still going to buy it. Just up your price. Just do it today. Just do it. Just up it. Just up it. Because the same people are still going to buy it. Because they're desperate to get out of that pain. Just up it. That's it. Whatever is zero on the end or add a few other things. You see, as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So, when somebody who's liberated, when I was in that first mastermind that Alex invited me to, okay, I was number 13 or 13. I had all these people around me with this tremendous belief and doing phenomenal. Well, Michael Fossane was there and a whole lot of people. But when you go into a crowd like that, you get liberated. That's why stay in with CIA. Stay and hang around a community that's on fire because somebody else's liberation will liberate you. Right? If you don't do that, you are denying somebody else there who needs your help. If you don't take your life to the next level and get liberated in your belief, you are denying somebody that's desperate out there crying for help, waiting for somebody to help them. That's why you need to be part of a powerful community who believe. And the first thing, find out, what do they believe? Do they believe? You see, we speak about belief, but we don't really study it. We don't really take it in our life. That's why I told Alex, if he gets tired of me, that's his problem, not mine. Because I know he's going somewhere and we need to be part of it, and even more so, right? Right? So, we outrageously believe that's what we've got to do. And just this one thing, you know what that is? Anybody been in New York City and had the tour of the new museum downstairs under the World Trade Center? Okay. Don't ever go to New York City and you don't go down there. But it'll take you 3 hours and you spend another 3 hours alone. And that is a slurry wall. And a slurry wall, it holds the water. Now we know what happened that day. We all know what happened on September 11th. The whole world does. Okay, when we spent time with Rudy Giuliani in about, 2013, where the privilege of spending time with him, and he was telling us, I said, but there were about 10 or 20 people jumping into the building? No, he said, hundreds jumped. Hundreds and hundreds were jumping to get out of it. Okay, so that's an emotional place. But let me tell you with that slurry wall, it's got to stop the water coming from the eastern Hudson rivers. So they couldn't build that massive building. Okay? To protect your life and your business, your slurry wall needs to be your belief system to protect you. Take your calendars out, day planners, diaries, whatever, and put in there, I've got in mine, okay, I call it EMI, early morning invigoration. But the first thing is about my belief. And if you're going to grow your business, the one thing that you need is belief, and you've got to protect your belief. You've got to have, if you don't have a slurry wall protecting your belief, you're not going to go to another level. That's the number one thing. There are the 5 foundations I'm not even going to talk about. Okay? Then this is all about branding, because you're not going to be able to brand yourself if you don't believe. Why? Because people are expecting your belief. When you're selling something, no one's going to sign up if they don't believe in you, right? How many of you signed up because you believed in what's going to happen in the program, right? That's why you signed up. Okay, if somebody does not believe in you, they're not going to sign up. Okay, and then more importantly, do you believe in yourself? That's even bigger with that. So we know this. People buy, what do people buy? They buy you before they buy what you offer. Okay? They buy you before they buy what you offer. Where's your swagger? Okay? Confidence. What's the difference between confidence and belief? Confidence is skills. When you've got skills, that's why you need to learn all these skills, sales skills, and all these different things. We're car teachers, and all of us, what you go through. When you learn these skills, that's when your confidence comes in. You can have belief without confidence. You can have belief without confidence. I've seen a lot of people believe, but there's no confidence in doing something, right? I can believe I'm going to go into the gym and lift 300 pounds, but I get there and I haven't got the skill, I haven't trained, right? I mean, you can believe in anything, and that's a start. But the confidence is the skills. A lot of people don't understand the difference. Okay? People think that the successful people were just born that way. They just came out the womb. They can read, they can write, they can spell. Who of you came out the womb and perfect like writing? Copywriting. Who? Maybe Aaron Wang could. Maybe he came out there just writing and PowerPoints and I don't know. I want to ask his mom. No one's born that way. So stop thinking there's something special. There's nothing special about them. Nothing. But they learned the skill, and that's why they have the confidence, right? And you don't learn the stuff that you're learning in CIA at any university or most other coaching programs. You're not going to learn this stuff. Okay, I think Alex? You guys, I can carry on for another hour, but I'm not going to do that because of respect for you, and you know why? You know why? We've got to learn how to end strong, right? Whatever we do, finish a race, finish the Ironman, end strong. And to end strong, there's 3 days. We've got to do some things before we leave here that end strong. How many of you agree with that? How many of you want to go out there and actually take the action, right? So I want to, if you forget everything I said, just remember this thing. Is it in your calendar and day planner, working on your belief every single day, relentless repetition, and rehearsals at 100%, not in your pajamas. When you rehearse for an offer, get in front of the computer, put those clothes on. Dress up rehearse like that. Walk with that bloody phone next to you. Rehearse at 100%. And again, and again, and again. Because that's where it is, it's the rehearsal. Have like a dress rehearsal, get ready. Darling, I want to take this call today. Can't wait, honey. Where's the swagger? Or how do you rehearse? Let me read the script. This is what Alex said, the magic script. He taught us nicely. We should be calling our Aussies. Say, hey, I want to rehearse with you, honey, with your funny accent. Oh, thank you, Greg. Thank you. Rehearse 100%. Take your belief to the next level. Do not, look here. How many of you ever gone to an office in your pajamas?
I have. Yeah.
Oh, you're from Australia? I'm just joking. I love my Aussies. How many of you just gone to the office? You didn't do nothing to your hair, didn't prepare, did nothing. Nobody. We get dressed. We get ready. We prepare every bloody day. We do that, right? Well, as coaches, you work from your home in your pajamas. But generally, if you go out shopping, you're going to get dressed. But what we don't prepare is the inside of us. We always want to worry, well, what are they going to think with my curlers and my hair? What are they going to think? Well, what are they going to think about what's inside you? Don't leave your home. Don't walk into your office if it's in your home without preparation. Do not do a sales call without that stuff. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
You know that, Wyatt?
Woo! You're amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Isn't he amazing? There's like only one Kurt Francis. That's it.
How's it?
That's it. How's it? Welcome. Very cool, very cool, very cool.